Hey, what's up? I am Ara, aka I Eat Zebra, and welcome back to the channel. Season 2 of Yellowjackets is officially behind us, but we're not out of the woods yet. As I mentioned in my Season 2 Ending Explained video, co-showrunner Ashley Lyle confirmed we will be getting a bonus episode before Season 3 airs. Due to the WGA strike, it's going to take some time before we get some more information on when they will air. In the meantime, I have some predictions on what we may see in both the bonus episode and Season 3. I'm going to break this into 3 sections: the bonus episode, the wilderness, and the present day. Quick disclaimer, these predictions are based off of how Season 2 ended without any hints or promotional material for Season 3. So let's get to it. This is going to be my wildest prediction of the bunch, but trust me, it will make sense. Well, maybe more so a wish than a prediction, but again, it's going to make sense. I would love to see the bonus episode be the first time with only one storyline in an episode, meaning we don't see both the wilderness and the present day. The bonus episode is going to be presented as a standalone, so this would be the perfect opportunity to do a one timeline episode, and I think that episode should be Natalie's funeral. Obviously, this would be set in the present day. Natalie is one of the most important characters of the show, and I believe she deserves a proper send-off. Not only that, a funeral episode can deliver so much that fans will love. To start, giving Nat her flowers. She was one of my favorite characters, and I believe she deserves a funeral on the show. The character interactions from the other survivors will be epic. Lottie most likely won't be at the services, but we would expect to see Misty, Ty, Van, and Shauna. They would also bring other characters with them. Misty would be with Walter, and Shauna with Jeff and Callie. I think Simone is still in the hospital, so she wouldn't be there, but more on her later. Outside of our usual suspects, we could get some cameos like everyone's favorite dunce, Randy. There's no way Allie would miss Natalie's funeral. We didn't see Allie in Season 2, so she should be in the bonus episode. Well, for me at least. We may see Susie, Nat's former sponsor, that helped Nat find out who emptied Travis's accounts and gave us the Season 1 Who is Lottie Matthews name drop. I think Lisa will also attend, seeing as Nat saved her life, which is why she's dead. Even though Lottie wouldn't be able to attend, we can get a scene or two with her in the hospital having visions. Maybe even a special visitor, possibly a newly confirmed adult survivor. Using a bonus episode to introduce another adult survivor would do a lot of heavy lifting for introducing them in Season 3. And it'll also make everyone's minds explode. It can easily be marketed as a mystery, which will be fun for us, the fans, to speculate on who it might be. In a practical sense, it would be easier to write, shoot, and produce a one-story episode like a funeral. I love the wilderness storyline. It's personally my favorite, but I still think this would be the best way to handle the bonus episode. Where we left off with the cabin burning down was so epic, I prefer to wait for Season 3 to see how they move forward. Or if we get a post-credit scene with maybe a small glimpse into what was going on in the wilderness storyline, I wouldn't mind that either. I just need Yellowjackets back in our lives and on our screens ASAP, and I believe this would be the best way to do so. Regarding the bonus episode, I don't have any predictions on what could be happening in the wilderness, mostly due to us being left on such a pivotal change in their circumstances. I think it's just more impactful to leave them until we really dive into Season 3. Let me know what you think they could do in the wilderness for a bonus episode, because I don't have any ideas. I really want a strong character-driven funeral send-off for Nat, so I'm just putting my eggs in that basket. Even though I don't have thoughts on how we can do a standalone check-in for the wilderness plot, boy do I have thoughts on where we're heading for Season 3. For starters, Coach Ben Scott is enemy number 1. Nat knows Ben is alive, was near the cabin the day of the fire, and he located Javi's hideout. Javi also told her there was a place that others didn't know about. They need shelter, and Ben has one, so that's going to be their main goal. It is still winter, and without the shelter of the cabin, they're exposed to the elements which can kill them. Nat knows Javi was bowing to a tree near the creek, but I doubt she knows exactly which one or where it is. They no longer have their maps unless someone grabbed them during the fire, which I doubt. Ben has a doodle of the exact tree that they don't have. I believe their best way to locate the tree is to let other Ty find it. She found it the first time, pretty sure she can find it again. I do believe they will eventually locate the cavern and Ben. If Ben doesn't die on his own before they get there, they will kill him, and Missy will make good on her promise to eat his high-calorie butt meat. I know I said last season Ben was a goner, but now that he tried to kill them, oh, he's definitely out of here. The cavern, unlike the cabin, has significantly less space. The lack of space and provisions will cause tensions to rise, and I think we will start to see more fracturing of the group, especially under Nat's leadership. Speaking of Nat's leadership, I don't believe she will be able to hold the group together or her position for long. Lottie handing over the leadership title to Nat really set them up for failure. The group chose Lottie to lead them. They didn't choose Nat. You could see Shauna, Misty, and Mari are all clearly hesitant at first and will probably stand in opposition to her authority for various reasons, because they all believe that they can be queen. Mari will most likely be her main antagonist. I do believe Nat will retain some form of power, but we might see a rift form and a new faction start to form. I could see Ty becoming a leader of an opposing faction. I don't believe Ty will openly defy Nat's authority, but I believe some of the others will vote for her to lead them. Ty, outside of Lottie, has shown the most innate leadership qualities. She's the one who initiates the vote to lead the site of the plane crash, which leads them to the cabin. She does try to go out and find help. It backfires a bit, but she did try. When the hunt starts, it's her leading the pack and is the one to lead them to Nat and Javi. When the fire breaks out, it's her quick thinking of using the axe to break down the door and is the one who actually gets them out. If other Ty is the one to actually locate the cavern, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the others vote for her to lead. She also takes control of most of their tough situations. I mean, she eventually becomes a senator of New Jersey, so she had to get some leadership and political training somewhere. What better arena than the wilderness to sharpen those skills? Other changes we will most likely see will be the season, most notably. The writers have stated they planned on making the show about 5 seasons. We know they're in the wilderness for 18 months. We saw the first spring, summer, and fall in season 1. Season 2 was the first winter. I believe season 3 will be the end of winter and beginning of spring. Maybe go as late as the summer. Who knows, the wilderness might call for them to do a major sacrifice on the summer solstice. I don't know, nature's weird like that. I think in addition to a weather change, we will be introduced to some more characters like we were in season 2. I know people complained about the introduction of Crystal Kristen, Jen, and Melissa, saying they came out of nowhere, but that's not true. The plane had a full varsity girls soccer team, and some, if not all, of the JV team as well, which if they named every single person that survived the initial crash, that could be very overwhelming. I like the idea of focusing initially on the main starters of the team and slowly building out. That way we can get to know our main characters better and then some of the supporting cast. With that being said, there are clearly more people we have yet to be introduced to, and a new season is the best time to do that. Also, we need more red shirts to die or potentially survive. With spring on the way, animals will be waking up from their hibernation, so meat's back on the menu. Well, non-human meat, that is. Now that the cabin is gone, their animal supply is severely diminished, so they're going to have to find new ways to hunt game. I know as someone mentioned in my Pit Girl video, how did the group have time to make the pit for just a hunt? I think they use this as a means to help hunt animals as well as people, but mostly animals, like a bear trap, but a pit instead since they only have but so many resources. I think outside of just meat, the team will start using more parts of the animals, like their pelts for warmth, especially with another winter on their way. They may use the bones for tools and who knows what else. They're going to start to really dig deep in their survival skills, and tensions are definitely going to rise now that times have gotten significantly harder. Let's say they break off into 2 groups. Who do you think will be the leaders? I personally think Ty and Nat would be the ones going head to head for a bit, with Lottie trying to remain as neutral as possible or even try to be a shaman of sorts. I don't know. What do you think? Now let's fast forward 25 years to the present day storyline with our adult survivors. The end of season 1 and all of season 2 took place in roughly 2 weeks' time. I think we may get a small time jump for season 3, and by small I mean maybe a few weeks or months tops. The adult storylines in the present aren't as interconnected as their past plot lines, so I'm breaking this next section down by characters and plot. Let's start off with everyone's favorite crime family, the Sadekis. If Walter's plan works, Shauna would be off the hook as a suspect in Adam Martin's murder, which I hope is wrapped up, but I can see this potentially getting messed up because of Detective Matt's cooperation. However, I don't think this is going to be the biggest obstacle in their lives. After witnessing a hunt and a murder cover-up, Callie has definitely been touched by the darkness. I think when Lottie mentioned how powerful she is, it wasn't just Lottie, but the spirit speaking through her. Callie is going to go through some major changes, and I believe we will see Shauna struggle trying to get her own darkness under control while helping Callie navigate it herself. To be honest, they probably should seek out some family therapy, but they would need the right therapist that won't rat them out to the cops. All I know is Jeff is going to need a vacation from the crazy ladies in his life. After the accidental murder of Natalie by Misty, she was going to be in a depressive, grief-stricken state. Luckily, with Walter and Caligula by her side, she won't be completely alone as she tries to deal with her guilt and grief. Hopefully, we would get a Natalie ghost haunting Misty like we did with Jackie and Shauna. As Misty navigates through her emotions with her new beau on her side, I do believe some good will come her way. By that I mean I think Walter and Misty are going to get married next season. Let's face it, they're not getting any younger, they're soulmates, they both committed a murder and cover-up on the same day. They're a match made in Citizen Detective Heaven. I can imagine their wedding invitations being like a game of Clue to deduce the details on the Citizen Detective community Reddit. When it comes to Missy being responsible for Nat's death, I don't believe the others will be too mad at her. At the end of the day, they were in the middle of a hunt and planned to sacrifice Shauna. Once a hunt begins, it doesn't end until the wilderness chooses someone. This time it chose Natalie, which is fitting because the first hunt we saw this season, it chose Javi in Nat's stead. Even though they are obviously saddened by the loss of Nat, they know Missy was aiming for Lisa, and Nat's quick action is why she died. You know, them's the rules. Moving forward, without Natalie, will be a trial for them all to overcome in their own way. Missy for being the one to actually do it, Shauna for being the one to initially draw the Queen of Hearts, and Nat dying instead, Ty and Van for calling off the emergency responders, which would have prevented the hunt from ever occurring to begin with. Lottie not so much because, she knows how the game works and she cares for Nat, so it still hurts, but, again, them's the rules. Speaking of Lottie, I believe we will see her in a psychiatric hospital. I do hope Ty and Van keep their word and actually check in on her. I think Van will more so than Ty. While Lottie's in the hospital, she may have visions on and off while they try to find a medication for her to take to stop them. I do not believe she will be staying there all season and will either be broken out or released. I'm not sure if she'll try to restart Sunshine Honey or potentially make her way back to the wilderness in Canada. The reason I think she may try to go to Canada is to get to the root of where it all started. She keeps saying it is back and that it never left. What if she believes the only way to get rid of it is to go back to the wild? Sounds a bit crazy, but I think it would be a cool setup going into season 4. We still don't know who sent the postcards in season 1 because it wasn't confirmed that Jeff was behind that. I'm hoping this is resolved in season 3. I always consider the postcards to be invitations. What do you think? Since we're on the topic of unresolved stories, we have no idea how Simone, Sammy, and Stevie are doing, which, to be fair, the second season took place in such a short span of time, especially the back end of it, so I'm not surprised they weren't revisited in season 2. However, with Ty and Van seemingly getting back together again, and Ty and Simone on the outs, I don't think Simone is going to be around for much longer. Simone had already started to threaten Thaisa by exposing the biscuit altar to the public if Ty doesn't get help. After Ty caused an accident that gets her hospitalized and put in critical condition, there is no way in hell that she's going to protect Ty's secret anymore. If Simone doesn't die, I believe Ty or Van will kill her. Specifically, Ty's alter, aka Other Ty, will definitely take Simone out. She was leading Ty back to Van and the others, and was the one in control during the accident. With Simone out of the way, they could get back together. As bad as it sounds, I really don't care for Sammy to be really fully introduced. Children age quickly, and by the time we see him again, he's going to look older, which will throw off the timelines. I think Simone's parents are probably the ones with Sammy now, and if she dies, I can see Ty giving them full custody with some visitation rights. Ty knows until she can get herself in a balance with her alter, she poses a threat to Sammy's safety, which is why I see her voluntarily relinquishing her rights to full custody until she is in a better position to take care of him. Also, if she kills Simone, I doubt she could live with Sammy and that guilt on a daily basis. And when it comes to Stevie, I'm not sure if she arranged for a dog sitter or anything, but it's not looking good for our guy, Stevie. Natalie's death and reuniting with Ty sparked Van's will to live again. We found out she was diagnosed with late-stage cancer, and it's not looking so good. Who knows, maybe the sacrifice of Nat will send her into remission, or some other divine intervention. Speaking of Nat's death, Lottie said they gave it what they wanted, and they would get something in return. What do you think that will be? I'm torn between it either being Van entering remission, or like I mentioned in my bonus episode prediction section, another survivor. They seemed, for the most part, to be out of touch with one another, but Misty had tabs on everyone for the most part, and Ty had Jessica Roberts searching too. Jessica did say some of them were harder to locate than others. To me, that means we have some other survivors we have yet to meet. Losing one teammate and reuniting with another is a fitting trade-off. I do believe we will meet another adult survivor next season, if we don't get to see them in the bonus episode. I have some speculation on who it might be. I would love for it to be Akila, but based on the Fangoria article I covered in the entry under Mari's name, it looks like it could possibly be her as well. Those are at least my top two choices. I'd love to hear who else you think may have survived. I'm excited to see where season 3 leads, and I cannot wait for the bonus episode. I'd love to hear your predictions. Leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for future uploads. See you next time. Bye.